Jordan Oveas. I'm the founder of dayNumber. I've been documenting and building dayNumber for the last 393 days. And originally it was called the Billions Club, if you go back to day number 1. And the whole mission is to support founders who want to impact billions of lives and also build a successful billion-dollar company and provide all the resources they need in order to succeed. And usually what I talk about each day is basically what happened yesterday and what the plans are today, and usually a topic around that. Yesterday, what did I do? I worked on building a Roblox server for my daughter, which has nothing to do with with dayNumber at all, but was working on that. And then also was working on some things to raise some money for dayNumber in the meantime while I'm building. Thank you for the likes and the hearts. Thank you. Was working on that. And I figured, okay, I already have one person I'm helping out with, helping with their SEO and making them discoverable by AI. And I'm thinking maybe I need to, secure a few more clients, Modi Shosho, hey friend, what's going on? Welcome back. Long time no see. Here with the Maxi boy. So I was doing that. I was working on what could be an offer, what could be something that is 10 times the output, 10 times the income, and 10 times less the work, So now that I'm thinking about it, one of the biggest things the biggest thing I could do is I think is consulting, AI consulting. It's do a 90-day sprint to help patch all the holes in their companies, and then help them to scale after that and provide consulting. The whole goal is to empower people to actually be able to leverage the tools that they have in their company and not having to rely on an agency or anyone, right? So I think that's one of the biggest things we could do. So a lot of squirrels out today. A lot of squirrels. I mean, I'm seeing, right when I got out my door, I seen squirrels all down there. I guess there's nuts and everything. Aiden French 823 says, "Oi, what's the crack, lad? Big ups from the Emerald Isle of Ireland." Moser Rudbot, so what's good, man? What's good, brother? Going for a walk. Who else is going for a walk right now? Who's going for a walk? Walk with Jordan in the mornings. Come on, go for a walk. Or if it's night, no matter what time of day, go for a walk. It's good to get fresh air. Thankful that my dog forces me to go for a walk. So thankful for that. Look at these clouds. It's gonna rain. It's gonna come down for sure. But we'll see. Moser Redbot, just home gaming. Stay safe, man. Thank you. Oh, there's some dogs out there. We're gonna go across just because Max go too crazy right now. But the main point that I was trying to get at was you're gonna have to embrace every single other journey. That's really what it is. You're gonna have to embrace doing the hard things, the things that don't feel comfortable, the things that you don't want to do, that you never thought you'd do. And even for me, I never thought I would be doing AI consulting for companies. building dayNumber, using that to raise cash, you know, that's not something that I ever thought I would do, you know. And so I could use that, like, as I'm talking to people, it's like, hey, look, this is what I'm doing. And because there's gonna be high days, there's gonna be low days. If you're building a successful company, your goal one day is to exit to, some private equity firm for billions of dollars, and you'll be set for life. And also that whatever you built lives beyond you and impacts billions of lives as well, right? So, but even when you get there, you might not feel like so fulfilled. You might feel fulfilled for a moment, and then you go on to the next part of your life. So all that, that pain and struggle that you were going through, the journey that that you wanted to get away from. Like, even for me, like, man, there's many days, even yesterday, where I felt like, man, like, what's the point of doing this? Why? I wish I could, already be successful already. I wish I could already have, like, millions of dollars coming in and impact millions of lives and make a difference in this world. And but I just thought to myself, okay, but let's just imagine that I was there already. And it's good to actually play this game too in your head. Imagine you already actually accomplished everything that you wanted already. Just imagine that, okay? And imagine the feeling of how it would feel through your own eyes, as if you're experiencing, just like a dream, right? When you're dreaming, you are experiencing it through your own eyes. That's why dreams feel real, because it's a first person point of view experience, okay? And see yourself, whether it's a congratulations, or you finally got your family or parents a house, anything. You successfully sold your company, you solved the problem of curing a certain disease that you've been working to solve, or whatever it is that would imply that you succeeded at what you're working on. You got on a professional sports team, if you're working towards that, even something smaller. Let's say, you finally bought your first car. Finally, or, maybe you're playing video games. Okay, maybe there's a game that you really wanted, right? And then you finally got it and you thought it was impossible. Something that seems so far away, okay? That you think that, okay, in this, if I only had this, then I would feel a lot better, okay? Now, that might be true for a moment. Think about certain things that you have right now that, you thought you'd be so, morning, you thought you'd be so satisfied with, like your life would change dramatically if you got that. And maybe it did. Maybe it was a phone. You finally got a phone. Maybe it was a dog, even a pet. Oh yeah, I finally got a pet. Maybe it was $1 million. You finally got $1 million. And what you did, you finally bought a car. You finally paid off your debt. You finally, what else? What's another finally? You finally started you finally started traveling. You finally visited all the countries in the world, right? Whatever that is, whatever you finally did. How long does that moment last? Maybe for a few minutes, a whole day, maybe for a week, a month. But it's not gonna last for a whole lifetime. You're gonna look on to the next thing. You can't just sit there and like rest on your laurels and say, okay, yeah, I made it. And that's it, and now I can die. It's like, maybe you might feel that way. But soon you're gonna be like, okay, what's the next thing? So that's why you must embrace the journey along the way to get there, because whether you get there or not, it's not up to us to know how long we're gonna live, right? Sorry, by the way, if you hear Max, Maxie boy, come on, let's go. This is what he likes to do. Come on, let's go. Come on. Let's go. Let's go, Max. Come on. Come on, Max. All right, let's go. Max, I know, he wants to play. He likes playing with his leash. Ever since he was a baby. But yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna share. So what I was sharing with you guys is embrace the journey, and that's what I had to share with myself yesterday, even today, as a reminder. It's like, yeah, you're gonna feel like you want to give up many days. You're gonna feel like you don't even want to exist anymore in this existence. You're like, let me just go to sleep, like. And then there's gonna be days where it's like, yes, you got your first paying customer. You got some sort of sign that you're getting progress, basically, some sort of progress, right? And there's gonna be days where people, like, you're highly confident and you're passionate, and all those days you could see that in the last 392 days of me documenting here on YouTube, and on my own platform, dayNumber, since dayNumber 170. There's been many days where I felt so many different emotions. Well, every day, but it's the journey, and you can't control it. And everything happens for a reason, and it's not up to us whether or not, we actually get to where we're trying to go. Right? There's a general, probably mission, core desire, deep desire that you have to do something on this planet of some sort. And if you're really young, you might not know that yet, but you have some sort of direction, and usually those come out and express themselves through your core interests, whether it is gaming, whether it is sports, whether it is a certain subject in school. Lean into those interests, right? Because the current schooling system generally kind of forces a certain regimen in order for you to become basically industrialized workers. It's an old schooling system. It's a very but schooling that actually, that's what happened with Bill Gates. Bill Gates, when he was growing up, he was in school, and he just didn't work well with, like, the regular schooling system. So they put him in a private school, at 13 years old, and that's where he actually got access to the first computers that were and he used to sneak out every single night. Even his sister knew what was going on, and his parents probably knew what was happening, but they didn't stop him, because he was a very, kid that was challenging, especially with especially against authority. And he was also very combative with his mom, and eventually he saw a psychiatrist or whatever, and over a few years, got a chance to understand that, to channel that energy somewhere else, and that's kind of like what happened between the ages of 8 or 9. Oh no, going to grade 8, 7 or 8. I think it was between grade 6 and 8. And finally, when he went to that private school, boom, he got access to the computer, and he poured that energy into building. Using that, he learned how to code, and that's something that he thought was magical, that something that he created can actually function, right? So anyways, what I'm saying is lean into your interests, and then embrace the journey every step of the way. Everything happens for a reason. You might feel bad about certain things that you messed up, or people will tell you that, whatever you're building or your idea or your dream is stupid. But there's always going to be those dream stealers, people that, they don't dream big enough, right? And it's not their fault. It's depending on, a lot of times, your genetics and how you grew up as well. If you're surrounded by people who didn't have big dreams, maybe they did, but they just thought it was too much of a dream. See, there's a difference between somebody who's like a dreamer, where it's like, yeah, right, that'll happen, one day. But it's not, they don't really believe it's possible. What I'm talking about are dreamers who believe in a reality that's so big, might take 10 lifetimes to accomplish, but they know that somehow it can get done, potentially. And there's a high chance of it not happening, but they know it's possible. It's not just something like, oh, I wish I had that, but yeah, that'll never happen, right? Q Manley said, Jesus like Spider-Man, just your friendly neighborhood Jewish man who never existed. Wow, that's funny. Q Manley. Oh, well, the one key thing that I get from Christ or Jesus, Yeshua, whatever you want to call him, is that love your neighbor as yourself. And there's only one God, meaning like one source of all, like all, and we're all it as well. We're all one with that source. You know, like he said, I and the Father are one. If you see me, you see the Father. What is the Father? The Father, actually, one of the root words is source, right? So we're all from that source. And we are one with that source. When you see me, you see the Father. And imagine a Jewish person who grew up in a Jewish culture, who even stood up. It showed that he was well versed in the, in their stuff back then. Even if he didn't exist, if you believe that he didn't exist, but shared wisdom, shared the actual wisdom from it. Anyways, guys, shout out to everyone here. Shout out to Q Manley, Sarah Abel, Moser Redbot, Aiden French, Modi Shosho. I go live every day. Just remember, guys, embrace the journey. Embrace whatever it is that you're going through right now. Because when you get to the destination of where you're trying to go, that feeling only lasts for a certain amount of time. And really, ultimately, what you're chasing is an experience, a feeling. Even the feeling of, oh yeah, I'm going to build something so successful that it's going to impact billions of lives for generations to come, and I'm going to leave a legacy. Like, that still is somewhat of a feeling that you're looking to accomplish. Because once you accomplish that, you're going to feel it, right? Now, some people might say, oh, maybe I'll never accomplish it. But guess what? What I'm building right now will lead to that. And so, and that's really kind of like the balance. It's like you're going something that's big enough to excite you, small enough that you can get it, but also at the same time, you don't care if you get it or not. Just, you're doing it for the sake of doing it. You're going along on the journey, and that's what I've seen actually in the last 4. Now I'm on my 5th biography that I'm reading. Is that a lot of these super successful people, Michael Dell, who's the 5th richest man in the world right now, Steve Jobs, rest in peace, Bill Gates, also no longer the top 10, but still one of the richest people in the world, Elon Musk, now James Dyson, all of them just leaned into what was their highest excitement at any given moment, their passion. They did it for the sake of doing it because they were passionate about it, right? So lean into those things. Get passionate about what you do today. Have fun. And embrace the journey. All right, guys. Have a great day. Color Blocks Plays. What's up? Have a great day, guys.